Tesla has gone down by about 4% on Thursday while its competitors NIO and XPeng went up. So sit tight as we go through today's news to find out what caused this as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. First up, Tesla has recalled over 1 million vehicles stating an issue with its windows that could pinch off fingers if not fixed. This, combined with the Fed hiking interest rates again, has proved bearish for Elon's company. But on the other hand, Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory expansion project is finally completed after a long delay. This $170 million investment will increase their Model 3 and Model Y production to 2,200 vehicles per week. The factory produced 77,000 vehicles in total in August 2022, and an analyst from Piper Sandler is expecting 100,000 vehicles in September. Going into more detail about the production, Tesla's cost of production has had a wonderful journey going from $84,000 per vehicle in 2017 to this year's $36,000 per vehicle. With that in mind, let's analyze the charts. As you guys can see right here, we're now in the one-day chart for Tesla, and the situation looks really bad as the current price, the pre-market price, is at $281.96, and the stock has plummeted by about, let's say, 10%. Yep, about 10% in the past 3 days. So where exactly is the stock headed and how long will the fall last? Well, first things first, the initial support levels that I thought were in action were at $290, right? Somewhere around 290 and then around $296. But as you guys can see, we've already crashed both of those in the pre-market session itself. The next support directly stands at about $280, right? Which is pretty much a psychological support. If we look at the RSI, we can see that the RSI is below the SMA, and I believe that it will straight up bounce back from around this level. But there are still a lot of problems, right? We can't really beat news factors and fundamental factors with just technical analysis. So if the Fed keeps hiking its interest rates, the stock will keep going down. It's no rocket science, but eventually it will cash back on, and I believe that's really where the benefit lies. So the stock might head to $400 as well, according to some analysts. And as some of you might already know, that Tesla has talked about launching some robot of a kind, and that has, gotten backlash for them. And after that, there are basically like 5 or 6 reasons why the company is now headed downwards, but the Fed rate hike still stands as the #1 issue for the stock and the entire market in general. If you look at Apple stock, for example, as you guys can see, pre-market is down. If we look at NIO, for example, pre-market is down. If we look at an ETF, we can see that the pre-market is again in a bearish scenario. Now coming back to Tesla, let's quickly get into the 1 hour chart and analyze some detailed stuff. As you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1 hour chart, and this was the day we touched the high of $214 level, right? This was pretty much the level that we made a triple top around. So let me mark that, right? Let's say $314 over here, and over here. So that's a strong resistance already. But once we hit that, the Fed rate hike came out, and after that, as you guys can see, it's been pretty bad for the past 2 or 3 days, right? We fell about, the max was about 3% in a single 1 hour candle. And over here, you guys can see that we made a pretty strong pin bar candle, right? This was probably when the news came out. The pin bar candle indicates that there was a lot of buying pressure, but the sellers eventually won, crushing the bears, or rather the bulls. I'm sorry for that. If we look at the 22nd September chart, we can see that there was, a try, or rather an attempt for a reversal, but it miserably failed in this pre-market session. Now to analyze what's exactly going on 22nd and 21st September, let's quickly jump into the 5-minute chart. Now, as you guys can see in the 5-minute chart, we did get a lot of engulfing candles like this one over here, right? So we were getting indications that a strong bear move is ahead. Over here, we did get a strong pullback, right? So we're pretty much in a bearish trend this entire day as well. Then we started picking up pace after hitting this level around $306.29, or rather $306.3. The resistance stood somewhere around $310, right? $309.95. And after that, we did get a strong pullback around 2 p.m. on that day, which resulted to about a fall of 1.7%. And this was the moment when things started flipping over. As you guys can see, we did get a lot of volatility over here. After that, as the market closed, we can see that we did go up, but eventually we fell down before the market could close. And as you guys already know, that the market was a big fat red candle, and that same bearish trend, that strong bearish sense carried on into the next day. As you guys can see, we did start off 22nd September in a bearish trend as well. We did try to hang on to the support around, what level was this? About $295, I guess, $294.5, right? But that soon turned into a resistance over here. And after that, well, you already know what happened after that. We went down by a lot, and this level at $292.5 turned into a resistance after that. As you guys can see, we did make a lot of tops over here, but we could not break into this range again. And after that, we were getting a support over here. We did make a double bottom around $290. I already told you guys in my previous analysis that $290 would be a strong support, but sadly, the Fed announcement pretty much ruined my analysis. As you guys can see over here, on 2 p.m. on 22nd September, we did get another pin bar candle indicating further bearish movement. We tried to make some recovery over here, bouncing back from the $285.8 level, but that failed as well, right? We did break back into this range, and we pretty much ended the day off better than, this 2 p.m. area, but that did not do much for the stock, as we did still crash in the pre-market, and the current pre-market still stands at $281.88. Now, if you ask me where the price is headed next, I believe that it will definitely test the $280 resistance once, or rather support, and I don't honestly know whether it would break that or not, but with the market conditions worsening, I believe that we might break that support sooner or later. So is the Tesla stock a buy at the moment? I personally would trade options, right? Put options or stuff at this point, or rather selling call options. But I honestly don't believe that I would give the stock a buy rating at this time. I would let it cool down a bit, maybe let the bearish trend get exhausted. As you guys can see, the pre-market is moving on to $282.39. The buyers are picking up some pace, but then again, the $285 resistance would act up over here. We did have it as a support, but now it's our enemy. So I believe that this day would prove to be a big red candle as well. In other scenarios, right, if the stock did turns out to, kind of reverse a bit, we might get a green candle over here, and it might turn into somewhat of a pullback mechanism. So if I were to explain it further, I personally believe that it could, get into a green candle over here. So let's just draw that real quick. If we get a green candle, which is like really not that likely, but if we do get it anyways, we might just get a continuation for the bearish trend over here. And I guess we might reverse from these levels again. As you guys can see, we did get a reversal from this exact same level over here as well. So we might get reversed from the $272 to $70 range again. So with that, my price prediction for the year still stands strong around the $320, $330 range, but I personally don't believe that it would happen anytime soon, right? It's not like it's going to happen in October itself. It will take some time, but I do believe that Tesla is a long-term buy. Then again, I could be wrong, so remember that this is not financial advice, as it's just my own analysis. Make sure that you do your own research before you trade. If you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.